If you guys want to be with a chance to win this Skyward Sword HD giveaway, complete with Nintendo Switch console, limited edition Joy-Cons and more, click the link in the description box down below to enter. Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Stories 2. And in this one, we are talking about genes. More specifically, my personal top 5 favourite genes. Some of the moves that I have put onto my monsties that I really like, really enjoy, and I highly recommend you check out. Obviously, this game has a ton of genes to choose from, a ton of moves to choose from, so there is no right or wrong choice. So if you guys have got some favourites yourselves, definitely let me know down below. But if you're looking for some inspiration, then here are a few of my picks. So, to begin with, we're starting off with a technical move called Arachnophobia. This is a fantastic move. I really like it because, firstly, it's a low-cost technical move. It only costs 13 points to activate, and it also does medium non-elemental damage to a single enemy. So if you are in a position where, say, you want to give your monstie technical, speed, and power attacks, this is a nice low-cost move. However, on top of that, the main reason I like this one is because it has a low chance to inflict poison and paralysis for 3 turns. So, by default, this is already a very nice, accessible move you can use pretty much any of the time. It's very easy to build up 13 kinship points, but the fact that you can inflict poison and paralysis is an absolute game changer. When this procs, and I'll be honest, like even though it says low chance, you do see it proc quite frequently. So those things combined, poison is just nice extra ticks of damage, and paralysis is just a chance for the monster just to not attack. So both in PvE and PvP, this is fantastic. And if you want a chance to get this one yourself, then you want to go and be pursuing the Shrouded Nocilla, because this is a move that comes from Shrouded, so simply farm those, get those eggs, and take that gene. Then moving on from there to skill number 2, this one I really like. Admittedly, it doesn't work all the time, but when it does, it is incredibly satisfying. And that skill, of course, is Deadly Horn Jab. This one, by default, costs 28 points, so slightly higher commitment. It's a power type move, and it deals light non-elemental damage to one enemy. So on the damage front, pretty standard, nothing to sort of write home about, but the main reason you want this one is because it does have a low chance to inflict one-hit KO, which again, if you're playing in things like PvP or PvE and that does proc, then that monster's health bar goes from whatever it currently is to 0, and it is such a satisfying thing to pull off. This is a move that I personally really like. I put it on my Tigrex because I'm trying to make him a non-elemental beast, and this has been a fantastic addition. And if you want to get this for yourself, then you need to go and pursue a white Monobloss. Moving on from there to skill number 3, I now want to turn my attention to Bombing Raid. This is a fantastic speed type move. It costs 26 points to activate, deals medium fire damage to all enemies, so it is an AoE move, so you won't be using it to target, say, specific monstie parts, but it also has a high chance to inflict Blast Blight. And of course, Blast Blight again is a fantastic ailment because A, it's additional damage, and B, if you're playing something like PvP, it will either force the opponent to deal with it, thus taking a turn, because of course they would have to use an item or something like that, or they just take the damage, which again is a nice addition. And of course, if you want to get this yourself, you need to go and find a Basilgeuse, because that is where the skill comes from. Then in number 4, we have Supernova. Again, another fire type move. This one is pretty high cost, 54 points, so it is a pretty sizable investment, but it does deal massive fire damage to all enemies with a high chance to inflict burn for 3 turns. Again, burn is fantastic. It's another chance to deal just damage over time. Anything like burn, poison, or blast, things like that, they're just kind of good chances to tick up some additional damage, you know, whenever they proc, which is very nice. Plus, this of course comes from a Teostra, so I don't like Teostra. A lot of you guys will probably be thinking, hold on a minute, why have you not used Teostra? Because he's so damn powerful. Yes, the Elder Dragons do have amazing stats. I have not liked Teostra since the beginning of time. Since I fought him in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, I do not like that monster, so the only thing he's going to be useful for is giving me Supernova for my Glavenus, who is a fantastic monster. Maybe the stats aren't that great, but honestly, the move is fantastic, and that is the only way Teostra is going to benefit my team. So yeah, fair to say, if you want to get Supernova, you are of course going to have to go and pursue Teostra eggs, so you can then go and swipe that gene. And then finally, to round things out, my last pick is Ruinous Strike, which of course is a move taken from No Gigante. This I've also put on my Grimclaw Tigrex. This will deal medium non-elemental damage to a single enemy. It has 20 point cost, so again, it's not as low as, say, Arachnophobia, but it is still pretty low cost in the grand scheme of things. It is a speed type move, so specifically for, say, Tigrex, I've tried to sort of spec him out so that he can then cover all bases, power, technical, and speed. And this also has a high chance for a critical hit, so of course you have a nice medium damage move with the potential for much greater damage. It's also again nice to take some no Gigante abilities and put it onto other Monsties, so again, safe to say, if you want to get this, you're of course going to have to go and farm no Gigante, which again, don't forget you can also do in rare high rank dens, and then swipe the gene from him. So those are my top 5 picks for the active skills that I really enjoy using. I will however say that there are a few passive skills that I just want to mention here. Vicious is a nice skill that of course will increase head-to-head damage by a good amount, and given that head-to-heads are things you'll encounter relatively frequently, this is a nice flat damage boost. You then have the skill Soul Kinship, which again is fantastic. This will make it so that your kinship gauge fills up faster, so of course in any situation kinship gauge is a direct way to use your abilities. The faster it can fill up, the more frequently you can use those abilities. This is definitely a skill you want to pursue on, in general. It's a nice thing to slot in. Comes from a variety of different monsters. And then of course you also have Divine Blessing, which is another skill that can sometimes reduce the amount of damage taken. Of course, if you have the extra large version, you have a higher chance of activation. So this again is a nice skill from a survivability point of view. So a few nice passives thrown in there. But for the time being, let's do a rundown on some of my favourite picks so far. Obviously, again, there's lots of cool genes to talk about, so I'll probably do some more videos on these later on. But for the time being, those are some of my favourites so far. If you want to catch more from us at HyperX Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.